In Puerto Rico, it is crazy because like when I lived over there, I would also act up as if I was a local there. Like, because girls would go there and want the fantasy of a fantasy of hooking up with a Puerto Rican guy. But
I see.
But there, I'm really just a dude from California, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm just like, you know, pretending that I'm like from the island and everything, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's so Latin," and I was like, "See, mommy."
See, mommy.
It's crazy.
That's what's up. And you speak Spanish, obviously.
Yeah, I'm losing it though after not like living there and like being in it.
Yeah.
I'm like a regular white guy now, just on Duolingo, trying to get it back and everything.
Really, you lost it that much?
The conversational of it, because like I spoke Spanish before, but it was more like it wasn't fluent. But then when you go there, that shit doesn't even work there because Puerto Ricans speak so fast and it's just their own like way of doing it.
It's like hip hop.
Yeah.
It's hip hop Spanish though.
Dude.
They got so much swag on all that shit.
Yeah.
You're like
Good old guy, how are you?
Yeah, it's great though. I like it. I like it the best of all the Spanishes. Like
Puerto Rican?
Yeah, just because it's like, it's got rhythm to it. Like,
it's flavorful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just feel them bopping as they talking to you.
Would you always, like, everywhere you go in Puerto Rico, you would always hear everybody, if you were eating, they'd be like, buen provecho. Like,
Buen provecho. I said it the other day.
Yeah?
I got that from them.
Oh,
yeah.
Hell yeah,
So I walk by somebody, they're eating buen provecho.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's the nicest thing. And that's like how my dad is just like everything is like to live good is to eat good. It's literally, you know.
That's his motto?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I said it the other day. I say it sometimes. Yeah, Puerto Rico had a huge impact on me.
Yeah?
For sure. Yeah. I met one of the most gangster people. So, you know, there's those projects between Old San Juan and, like, Condado or Isla Verde.
Yeah.
It's like a big project.
Yeah.
So, I was at El Alambique. I was hanging out with my roommate, his guy from Dallas or whatever. I had just met him. He had been there. But he was like, you want to go smoke?
Mota.
Smoke weed, yeah.
Yeah, some of that creepy, dog.
That creepy. And I was like, yeah. So the guy that I lived underneath, me in Old San Juan, he had a friend in the projects.
Yeah.
So we hop on the bus. We go meet them in the projects. And, you know, the guy that from Dallas talks a lot. So I'm a little nervous about him. Because he's just a very he's saying a lot to be around a bunch of gangsters.
Yeah.
So you're like kind of feeling.
Was he Puerto Rican?
No, white dude, fat white dude. Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck?
A flight risk.
But yeah. So I met one of the most gangster people I ever met in my life. So this dude comes out the apartments. We like chilling in like this little patio area. It's like three of his homies, me and the dude from Dallas, and then him. And his eyes, he comes out eyes bloodshot, just like a serious dude. And then he's just talking about politics and shit.
Really?
Like, but seriously.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what the world's about, dog. It's like, it's about politics. And
damn.
he's talking about like politicians and how they move. And I was like this dude is serious.
Yeah.
Because just before that, they were like pulling out guns and telling me about like gunfights and shit that were happening. And then this shit comes out, and it was like, oh, okay. Like, real gangsters are, like, real serious. Like, they're about that shit. And this was the most gangster dude I ever met in my life.
Damn.
Just a serious motherfucker that was like, yeah, this is how we move. This is why we do this. Like, he had a reason for his shit, and you could just see in his eyes, like, he ain't fucking around.
Yeah. That Caso in particular, I remember my sister and I, because we both went to school out there, and we were driving from Isla Verde to the school in San Juan, and the traffic was stopped. There was a car on fire on one side with like 1,000 bullet holes through it. And then there's dudes running from the Caso with AKs and M4s through the freeway. And they're yelling at people in the cars going, they shot Weechie, they shot Weechie. And you just try to blend in. You're like, carajo, nah, Weechie.
Nah, Weechie.
It's just like,
nah, Weechie.
Ay, mi corazón.
Nah, Weechie.
Weechie. Ay, bendito.
Yeah.
But it's so true in Puerto Rico. Like the school I went to do like neighborhood outreach and do these like classes where you have to go in the community and like give like immunizations and stuff. And just even like Just do these things that you have to do. And the school, the head of the department would have to go sit down with the gangsters. They would have to pay them for protection and even just to be there. Like the gangsters ran parts of Puerto Rico, probably still. So like when they're like, it's all politics, it's like there's a lot of the gangsters. Like I knew there was one in particular that would buy all the uniforms for the San Juan Police Department.
Yeah.
And it's just like, people say like, oh, it's part of the United States. I'm like, it's not though.
It's a little different. There's a lot of pride there for sure.
Oh yeah.
So you feel like, I mean, there's a Home Depot and a Burger King, but you're also like, this ain't the same type of Home Depot.
Yeah, dude.
A little different vibe.
Some of the wood still have leaves on it and shit.
Yeah, this ain't the same.
Banana tree 2x4s.
So is that bamboo? I can't build with that.
Yeah, dude. There's just frogs and the coquis going through there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, Puerto Rico's real. It's like the law of the jungle out there, though. It's like jungle rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's real. Like there's real upheaval in the political system. So you can't rely on the government.
No.
Especially if you know that they're bought off by drug dealers and gangsters and shit. It's like, no, you talk to the homies and then be like, yo, we good? You are the president. Whoever the biggest drug dealer is, probably. You are the, you know what I mean? You make the rules, so.
They had that not too long ago. They had some protests to get the governor out of there. And they literally, like, the way even everything with Puerto Rico is so intense, like machetes and everything, where they were walking through the streets holding, like, a fake head with the machete of the person. Like, that's how they're protesting out there. Yeah. It's so violent. Like, that culture is so violent.
Yeah, I think there might have been a protest every 2 weeks when I was there.
Really?
Like in that square in Old San Juan? It's like the person with the pigeons and shit feeding the pigeons, that little square. You know what I'm talking about? I know they're still there.
Dude, that dude's still there right now.
I know they're still there. Yeah, so right there in that square, there would be protests. One of them was like, they had built like a prison, and they had people like in the prison like holding on to as they marched and shit. It is intense.
So they had intense. People, like they built a prison thing as part of the protest to show?
Yeah, like a symbolic prison.
Puerto Ricans are so dramatic. We love to be dramatic, dude. We can't fight it. It's in the blood. It's spicy blood. Yeah. It's all the novellas.
It's great though. I fucking loved it.
Yeah. What year were you out there?
It was a little dangerous. That's why I couldn't say. But I was there. I moved, I think it was January 4th of 2013.
Okay.
And I think I left like sometime in June, July, something like that.
Okay.
So not too long. I got to see what was it? The Festival de San Sebastian?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
It's a magical island. Like
pinchos.
Oh, some pincho de pollos, man.
Pinchos.
Dude, that's what the greatest thing is like I would like where I lived, I would walk down the street and there'd be pinchos for sale. You could just go out there and get lunch for $2.
$2.
Yeah, man.
A piece of garlic bread and some pinchos.
Oh, yeah, man. It's definitely a different way of life. And I remember like there was times you'd be sitting out there and like smoking a blunt under a coconut tree, watching the water and hearing coqui frogs. Yeah. And you just like, it really just stops you from thinking about the bullshit that happens here. Yeah. Like I think even with politics and like social media and everything, like it's not real life. And then you like go to a place like that where you're so disconnected and you're just like that's how I realized I didn't want to be a nurse and I wanted to do something creative was because I was like, it's all bullshit. Like you just got to do shit you enjoy because like that's how like a lot of Puerto Ricans are. Like if you go to on the weekends, the beaches are packed. Mm-hmm. There's music, there's dancing, there's food. Like they're all about like enjoying life. Yeah. Which I think a lot of people lack here because like out here sometimes it's all about the grind. It's all about traffic and just, you know.
Puerto Rico, I think it was Puerto Rico and Mexico that taught me like not everybody's working for like the 70-hour work week. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're not everybody's like trying to consume as much as possible. It's like some people are just chilling. Yeah. They're just kicking it. They like it. They don't need much. They don't have much. Yeah. You know, they don't aspire for much just to have a good life. Yeah. And so traveling to there and then Mexico just really kind of meant, it gave me that like, oh, that's right, Americans are fucking a little anxious. They're a little doing too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And that's what you see is like, you feel it when you come here. And if you're too deep into it, you like have to disconnect for a little while. You can only handle it for so long.
Yeah. I try not to get too deep in it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't even introduce you.
We've been recording?
Yeah. All that Puerto Rico stuff we'll leave in.
Cool.
I am joined today by a hilarious comedian. One of the, I don't know what we would call you in Austin, but one of the big dogs in Austin, running a couple clubs, one of the co-founders of East Austin Comedy Club, and now South Austin Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground before Rogan even dreamed of the mothership. If he has the mothership, you got the fathership out here.
Hey.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
That'd be something there.
Yeah, dude.
That's wild.
Just alpha Joe Rogan.
I mean, I thought about fighting him for sure.
Just don't let him kick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could whip his ass.
Yeah?
If it's wrestling, no.
Yeah.
But I think I could last long. He's old. He's like 50 something.
Everybody forgets that. If you can survive that first storm.
Yeah, he's gonna rumble. But I think if I can get him tired,
you just stand on the outside.
Yeah, just jab him to death.
Get him flinching a lot and get him reacting, tire him out a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta catch him on a day where he didn't do testosterone or something, dude.
Yeah. You know, fucking creatine and shit.
Yeah, dude.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, it would be funny to. I thought about trying to get on Kill Tony, and then if he was the guest, I'd be like, I would say some wild shit like,
yeah,
Joe, don't talk to me like that, dog. I'd beat your ass. And then, just only half serious, but like just to see if I could get a response.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I could actually.
Do you think you'd lose your job?
If I fought Joe Rogan?
If you fought him, but how tight would it be if you won? And then it was just like,
if I won?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm losing my job either way.
Yeah.
As soon as I swing, I'm fired. So I got to win.
All you have is the outcome of that fight.
Yeah. That's all I got now. That's going to be my claim to fame. If I beat him.
Yeah.
That would be
your credit when you get introduced on stage.
This guy whooped Joe Rogan's ass. He's also funny. But
yeah.
He whooped Joe Rogan.
See him at the fathership. Dude. Yeah.
Nah,
man.
It's cool working there.
Yeah. You gotta say that now.
Yeah, it's cool working there. Nah, it is cool working there.
Yeah, no, it's a dope spot.
I would like to spar with Joe if he ever sees us. That would be tight.
Yeah, get in there
just to
around.
See if I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want to.
Yeah, just to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it'd be very surprising. So, like, I grew up boxing. It's like in the Puerto Rican blood.
Yeah.
And then got into jiu-jitsu.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Nah, once I'm on the ground, he's probably going to Kamehameha my ass for the fuck. Dude. I can't. I can't combat that.
Yeah. If you go to the ground with them, it's going to be a split second where you just wake up and people are around you and be like, dog, what happened? Yeah. And you're going to be like, what am I doing here?
It's like, I don't know. You tell me. I forgot everything. Nah, if it goes to the ground, I think it's over.
Yeah, it's creepy. Like, especially first starting jiu-jitsu, you see people where you're like, I fucked that dude up. And then once they touch you and they start like maneuvering your body in weird ways.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a tough thing. It's literally like a pathway. Like just like the same way with stand-up where it's like, you know how to get a first laugh the second you get on stage. Mm-hmm. You know how to deal with silence, deal with a heckler, all that. It's just pathways that you've learned. And it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu where it's like...
You know how to move in...
Body, I put my leg here. They don't know how to offset that, and then you reverse it. And it's just... That's why nerds are the best at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Because it's like a video game. They just know all the combos.
I've also heard about like grown men and like little kids like submitting grown men because they don't know how to fuck. And then you're like, what?
Yeah, it happens. There's like little kids who are like 10 years old now who've been doing it since they were like 4. Mm-hmm. And they're like spider monkeys. Yeah. Their body, you know, little kids are like so malleable and they don't have any back pain yet.
Yeah.
And then they can just turn into like a spider on you. And everything's just Gumby.
Yeah. See, I don't want that.
Yeah.
If it goes to the ground, I'm tapping immediately.
Okay, so we're gonna set up a boxing match between you and Joe Rogan for charity.
I think Give him like 3 rounds, 4
Yeah.
rounds. I mean, I'm also going to get tired, but I think he'll get tired first.
Yeah. Do you work out a lot?
No. I'm just counting on him being a little older. Yeah.
Father Time is going to be what takes him down. Yeah. Dude, that's hilarious.
I definitely thought about that. I know other people have thought about it too, for sure. Just trying to set up a fight with him.
With Joe Rogan?
Yeah, because he's the MMA guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if Colonel Sanders was running, I'd be like, dog, I can make better chicken than you. Dog, I can out chicken you, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, Colonel Sanders is a white guy. He's got the best chicken. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Dude.
Dog, call my grandma, dog. Get her down here. This guy's out of here.
Dude, he really is like the Tiger Woods because it's like the best golfer is black and supposedly the best, like Colonel Sanders is white and he's got the best fried chicken. Get out of here.
KFC's pretty good. But
it is pretty good.
It's something about it.
Popeyes, I don't know. I like Popeye's seasoning.
I like KFC's original batter. Like not the crispy, but the...
Oh, okay.
It's just crack.
Really?
I would put it up there with Krispy Kreme's glazed donut.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to eat that.
One of those glazed donuts is amazing, but when you start getting to 2 to 3, you feel like shit about yourself.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. It's like taking a second hit of crack. You're like, oh, now this is a problem.
It's like, I shouldn't have done this. I was already high. What a waste of it.
Yeah. It's hard to breathe.
Now I'm anxious. Yeah. Yeah, 2 of those is fucked up.
The what?
2 of those donuts is a lot.
Yeah, you can die off that second one.
You could suffocate. That's how soft that. You ever got a warm one, like in the morning?
Yeah.
It's like heaven.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so good, dude.
It is. You know what else is like a monopoly? Is like Oreo cookies.
Ooh.
Best-selling cookie in America.
Really?
Probably for decades, I'm sure. And there's something about it that's like, it's just the shit. Especially you dip it, it's a little soft.
Ooh.
Oreos, Krispies, and KFC.
Is that like your final meal? You're like, if I got to go out, give me all 3 of those.
No, but I will tell you. Because I've been asking people at the mothership. I think I've asked like 10 people now. Okay, so my final meal is veggie samosas. You know, the Indian samosas.
What? Really?
Yeah, so that's my appetizer. Wait,
Okay.
I get like an appetizer.
Okay.
This is how I did it. Appetizer, entree, dessert, drink. Okay, so... okay, my appetizer is veggie samosas with the little green, whatever sauce they got. It's kind of a little sweet, but not too sweet. It'd be 2 of those. Then it'd be like a bacon cheeseburger, medium, cheddar cheese. You know what I'm saying? All the toppings, no onions. Then it'd be like a New York cheesecake.
Ooh.
Not cold, not quite room temperature, but somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, perfect.
Raspberry puree.
Ooh.
And then peanut butter banana milkshake.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out.
See, I thought you meant a drink like a nightcap, like an alcoholic drink at the end.
I didn't think about alcohol. A lot of people pick like margaritas and whatever the fuck, but I want the peanut butter shake.
What are they having their last meal at Red Robin? A margarita.
Yeah. I guess you could put alcohol in the shake, a little whiskey or something.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah, but if I drink right before I'm about to die, I'd probably start crying. I get emotional. I'd be like, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do this.
Just give me one more chance, Joe.
Like you had an option. I don't want to do this. You have to do it. I don't want to do it. What do you mean you don't? Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I might want to do like meth before I die. Like just do something crazy that I've never done.
That's your final meal?
Just meth.
That's what you're doing?
Yeah, dude. I just want to run around for a while. You know, run in a circle. I'm gonna be on 6th Street just pushing a cart for the last 4 hours.
They just let you tire yourself out. Yeah. All right, Evan, we gotta go. Get out of here.
I might have My appetizer, it'd probably be wings, like chicken wings.
Okay.
A burger is a great...
Buffalo wings?
Yeah. But the thing is with Texas is like, I can't really find good wings out here.
Okay.
Like I try. There's actually a spot and they do like an open mic there. It's an outdoor spot. It's like the Snell mic. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
It's off of Congress, but like far off of Congress.
Okay.
And it's like a coffee shop that actually has great Thai chicken wings. Thai
chicken. Fried?
No.
Smoked. Okay.
With the sauce.
I would say Green Mesquite Barbecue.
Yeah?
The original off of, I think it's Barton Springs right there. Like Lamar and Barton Springs.
Okay.
They got good smoked wings. I want to say Camino El Casino. But, I mean, they're good. I don't know if they're the best, though.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Do you like the barbecue out here? Do you eat a lot of barbecue?
No, that's very... So here's I think the misconception with Texans. It's like we've eaten so much barbecue our whole life.
Yeah.
It's more of like for most of us, it's like a celebratory kind of thing. Or like somebody comes in town.
Yeah.
They've never had it. We'll go eat it with them.
Yeah.
I mean, barbecue's heavy. It's a heavy meal.
Yeah, you're done
after
that.
It's a wipeout. So it's like I'll eat a brisket sandwich, but it's also like I ain't got shit to do the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like it's a heavy consumption.
You gotta catch Rogan after he eats a brisket sandwich. And
I'll mop the floor with him after. I take him to Terry Black's.
Yeah, dude, this one's on me.
I got this. I'm just eating the onions and pickles.
Yeah, staying loose.
Eat up, Jeff.
Sipping water.
Hydrating like a motherfucker.
Got some cornbread for you. Also, top that off, Joe.
Now finish the beans.
Yeah,
get the beans. Now barbecue. I like barbecue. Don't get me wrong. It's just I can't really eat it that often.
Yeah,
I've been eating it most of my life for sure.
Yeah,
it's more like when people come in town, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just so heavy. Mexican food now. That's just regular food.
Yeah,
in Texas.
You take that down.
Yeah, Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
you eat that almost every day.
Texas might have the best chips in the game.
We got
those
the best
really
queso,
crunchy. Ooh, yeah. Well, not a lot of places, at least where I've been, had queso the way queso is in Texas. It's just different out here, and everywhere has their own version of it.
Yeah, we got some good quesos.
Yeah,
some good ones. And then
it's just a bowl of cheese, and it's just delicious.
Yeah.
Some Texans are like in a rush to get diabetes. Like it's like.
I mean, we are a fat people.
They make them thick out here, dude.
Mm-hmm. You should have seen Fluffy just came to his audience. I was like, we got to get rid of a row of tables to accommodate this. There was some big people walked in.
I heard he did really well though.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got star power.
Yeah.
People hanging on every word. Grew up with him since they were like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Teenagers and shit.
Did you see him at all or no?
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was for sure killing. I think he might have been working out some stuff, but he was doing great.
Does it feel like the mothership is like testing stars that do come into town, or it doesn't have that yet? Because I know at the Comedy Store, it was a little bit like that, where like headliners would come into a spot and it was like a lion's den of like...
No, because I think the dynamics are different, much different. So I feel like, I know what you're talking about, because I've been to the Comedy Store and it was like Sebastian, Burr, Whitney, Joe, Maj Jabrani, you know what I mean? Killers.
Yeah.
But they're only doing 15-minute spots.
Right.
Here it's like headliners. You're already the headliner.
Yeah.
So it's basically your audience coming to see you, or anybody that wants to see the club. So the competition's not really present.
You're not seeing them in a lineup smashed in the middle.
Right.
So you have no reference of like, oh, what these other people are doing, these killers.
Right. So that energy's not quite there, but we're still getting to watch the best of the best do it.
Yeah.
It's just not like It's just not like the Comedy Store. It's not the same. The Comedy Store had so many killers in one place that could just pop up, do spots. Austin is still missing. We would probably need like, I don't know, 10 to 20 more of those type people to move here and frequent the club just to get those lineups as stacked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same, but you definitely get to see the best of the best do their thing.
Yeah.
It's like a little university. But it would be tight to watch like Berg go after Rogan, after Hinchcliffe, after William Montgomery, after Post, and after Sebastian, Whitney pops up. That would be great.
Yeah.
But it's better for us, especially as door guys, because our showcases are now mostly us.
Yeah.
So we get to work and we get to become that.
Yeah.
And so if we're really working, if most of us are, if you're putting in the work, eventually you'll get to that.
Yeah.
Because you're watching people kill and you're like, oh, okay, there's another level, or there's another octave, or there's another rhythm to the game that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And then you watch Fluffy go, you watch Eric Griffin, Whitney, Sam J. You get to watch everybody work.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see it and start to absorb.
Yeah.
And then you become, still sharp and still.
Yeah.
So.
And there's like, you start seeing so many different ways to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Not just one style of doing it where it's like, oh, you can murder in all these different styles of comedy.
Yeah. And then you find one that's kind of similar to you. So,
yeah.
Like for me, watching Eric Griffin, like we're not the same person, but I can relate to him for some reason. Being black, being just kind of loose and suave and, you know what I mean, charismatic. It's like I can absorb that a lot of game from him. Yeah. As he's just murdering the room, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I can get some of this energy also. And then even people that I'm not like Dave Attell, but you can watch him work and watch his jokes and Doug Stanhope. Nobody's really Stanhope, but you watch Stanhope and how he sets up jokes and how he knocks them down, and then it's like, you get to watch people kill from every aspect of killing. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, that's what's amazing about Austin. And I've said it like 1,000 times on the podcast now, but like the fact that there are so many good comics, and even like at like shoulder level at every level going up, there's so many good comics that if you really want to try to be in it, you have to get better. Like
you have to.
You can't, you're not a big fish in a little pond like a lot of people's home scenes. It's like now you're fucking in it. And if you want to try to be here, you have to be good and like working and writing, doing everything.
Yeah. That's what just working at the mothership, you just watch my peers, my door guy friends, they're writing, they're working. And then you feel the pressure from top down. Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, I don't want to be the last door guy. You know what I mean? Let me figure out where I am on the totem pole. Okay, CJ's killing. All right, CJ's tapped in. He's locked in. I gotta lock in a little harder. Yeah. Before I get left behind. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you're watching it and you're like, it puts a little pressure on you, but it's good pressure. Yeah. It's good. And then you figure out if you're built for it. Yeah. You know.
Have you felt your comedy like rise up since you've been there?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just there's such a professionalism to those rooms that you don't get in most, like the production value of just putting on the show is so high. You're like, this is the top. Yeah. So now you're performing in that 2, 3, 4 times a week. Yeah. And then you go to these other spots, more DIY, like East Austin. Still good shows, but it's like, you've been doing it. You've seen the top, and so you like, I'm getting molded by this. Boom, boom, boom. And then you bring it here. It's like, I'm doing great. I can feel the difference. I can feel the cadence is different. The rhythm's different. The confidence is different. A lot of people are getting a lot of confidence just working at the mothership. And, you know, because especially if you kill at the mothership, you're like, all right, now we're killing at the top of comedy. These are the best comedy fans, or some of the best, most savvy comedy fans. You know, they don't really let you get away with nothing. Yeah. Like, you got to tell jokes because they expect the best.
The mothership,
they expect the best. So if you kill, your confidence is through the roof. Yeah. And then you take that to outside of there and you're like, I feel great. Yeah. I feel I feel really good.
Yeah. Do you feel it like, so when you go like to East Austin, you have a new level of confidence going on there where you're just like,
It is, but there's still like a humble, you got to keep working. But you feel like a little more sturdy. But you still got to work. You still got to write. You still got to, there's still an element of like a bomb. I'm not trying to bomb, but it could happen if I'm not, kind of locked into the process. But yeah, I feel a lot more confident. I know a lot of these door guys. I'm watching them around town, and you can see it. It's like some of them are starting to glow, and you're like, oh shit. It's just a matter of time before one of these motherfuckers is out of here.
Yeah.
Touring with somebody, picked up by somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely feel a little more confident for sure.
Yeah. What made you like with East Austin Comedy, what made you start a club?
That wasn't the goal. The goal was just to get a stage that we had access to whenever we wanted. Or whenever we had a show, we could do spots. So that was the original goal. And then we sold tickets to the first one, and it went well. And then me and Rosa got to talking about it, and it was like, well, let's try to do this, 3 times a week. See if we can sell tickets, make some money. It wasn't really about the money. It was just about stage time. But it was like, oh, it's going well. Maybe we can capitalize on this. And then that went well. And then we were like, all right, well, what about 5 days a week? And then it was like, now we got a whole, then it just turned into a whole business, because now you're scheduling 22 shows a week. Well, now we got like an admin person that helps us like general manage everything, because me and Rosa we're comics. We're not really, business people. Yeah. Like we get loose sometimes and we don't really watch everything. So, but now we got team of people. We've hired social media people, meetings all the time. It's like, but the goal wasn't to start a business. The goal was just to have stage time.
That's awesome, man. It's a dope spot. It reminds me of something like The Cellar or something dope like that, where it's like people are there to watch comedy, and it feels like, at least the first time I performed in there, it felt like you feel the pressure of the room where you're just like, okay, this is like, you really have to bring jokes. There's no fluff of just like skating through your act.
Yeah. That's why I like it too. I like small rooms because you can't really hide. Yeah. So that pressure builds also the confidence in the act and like the joke writing. Small rooms are the best.
Yeah, they'll expose if your joke's funny or not. And even where you start finding lulls and setups and everything, you're like, I need to fucking tighten this up because I'm starting to lose them here,
Yeah. And it tightens up your character on stage. It's like, it just puts so much pressure on the act from every aspect. Performance, joke writing, it's great. Yeah. It's been great.
How has Austin changed quite a bit in the past few years? So you've been in Austin for a while, or you were in there before?
I moved to Austin in 2006. Okay. And then I started comedy in 2017. August 2017. Okay. I think it was.
Yeah. And so you were in Austin at that time?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the first place you went up? Do you remember?
First place I ever went up was in Denver, actually, in like 2013, after Puerto Rico. So after Puerto Rico, I moved to Denver to kick it with my mom and just get resettled. Yeah. In a different life. And I don't know, I was just watching, I was watching Mitch Hedberg's Comedy Central special. He was doing one-liners. I was fucking around. I was like, dog, I could write 10 one-liners right now. And then, so I did. And then like 2 hours later, I was on stage. And that was the very first time I ever did stand-up.
You wrote them in the same day you went on stage that night?
Yeah. I mean, it was just something I wanted to, I was just like, I could do that. And then I did it. And then I was like, all right, let me find a mic. And then go try them out.
How did it go? Did you get laughs?
I got a few laughs. I was nervous for sure. I think I tried to remember them, and I think I forgot like 4 or 5 of them.
Checks out.
A little nervous. Yeah. But I got laughs, and the guy that was running it, he was like, hey, man, I think you got something. You should come back. Yeah. And then I went to another mic at a bar, a loud bar, and I'm trying to tell these one-liners, and I don't talk loud. Yeah. I don't really project. And then I got pulled off stage.
Really?
Yeah. So
who pulled you off stage? Just the booker, or
the guy that was
host?
the guy that was running the mic. He's like, all right, we got you.
Where's he at now?
I don't know.
Probably
But
still at
then
that bar.
I'll never forget it because the guy
He's
that
not
went
fighting Joe Rogan.
the guy that went up after me, he fucking just rapped. He just rapped a song. Like, this is a comedy mic, and he's just rapping a song.
And he killed?
Yeah. I mean, people were singing along with it, and I was like, what the fuck? And
Like, I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, I didn't know that was an option, dog. And then I never did it again for like 4 years. I just did it twice that night.
You're like, I got this. I'm done with it for a while.
No, it was just...
Check that off.
It was really just something I wanted to try. You know how people have that...
Yeah.
Maybe I could do stand-up. I'll try it once. Yeah. Like bungee jumping or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just did it. And then I was done with it. Life got in the way.
What'd you do during the break of, like, what were your interests at that time?
Interest?
Bitches.
It's always...
Yeah.
It's always ladies.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, really, just trying to get settled. Because I had left Puerto Rico thinking I was going to join the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
I think I was 26 at the time.
So was Puerto Rico like a last hoorah, just like, let's have some fun before I go in the military?
No, I didn't think about the Air Force until like a week or two before leaving Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico Puerto Rico was fun. I had a good time for like 4 or 5 months. And then I was like, I got to get stable. I got to find some stability in life. And the Air Force just seemed like, my dad was in the Air Force. My sister was in the Air Force. My mom worked around government agencies, doing human resources. So I was just like, maybe it's a quick option to stability and you get a check. You know what I mean? Didn't join the Air Force because they were like, I wanted to work in the kitchen. I was just going to use it for the college degree and shit. And they were like, yeah, you can do that. But first you got to either be a paratrooper or be on the bomb squad. And I was like, I'm going to go back to TGI Fridays. I can't. That's not the move.
Paratrooping or bomb squad if you want to work in the kitchen.
They were like, you could transfer later. But first you got to join. We need people for this. And I was like, you don't need me for this.
Yeah.
I don't need
You're like, bomb squad. I'll go back to that bar I did my 10 jokes at, get pulled off.
Yeah, I was bombing before that. I don't need any more bombs. So I was like, I didn't do it. And I ended up working at a warehouse. I think I had moved back to Lubbock for a second. I got into selling weed. We went to Northern California to grow weed. There was some shit happened.
As it does, growing weed in Northern California.
Yeah, forest fire.
Oh, really?
The Rocky Creek Fire, look it up. It burned like 70,000 acres in a week. And I know the guy who started that fire. It's crazy.
No shit.
But, so that shit happened, and then I was basically living on credit cards at that time. But I had lost everything. I lost my passport, ID, in the fire. Somebody had looted. You know how the fire comes, there's people that are fucking wild, so they run in people's houses
while they're evacuated? Yeah.
And so they had took all my shit.
Damn. Was it a lot of the marijuana that burned?
All of it.
So that's like a panic-inducing.
It wasn't all mine. I was there just to work the field.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was 2 of us staying at the house. We were going to make like 50 grand for the summer if it all planned out, which was nothing because the dudes I was with were probably going to make $250,000, $500,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But none of it worked out. So I was down to basically no money. And so came back to Austin. No, flew to Lubbock for a second. And then, because I was looking for my weed, I had shipped some weed to a dude and the shit didn't show up. I was like, all right. So I kind of snuck in his house looking for it. And then...
just a light B&E.
Yeah.
A little breaking and entering in there. Just a mild one.
I was looking for my shit.
That's what OJ said.
No, it was all good. You know what I mean? He let me in.
Yeah, okay. The door was open.
The door was open. He said I could come in. But yeah, that's what, life I was just kind of, I don't know.
Trying to get
in
through.
flux. Just trying to find stability.
Yeah.
And then came back to Austin, ended up driving the city bus for like 4 years.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. And then New York during the pandemic, and then came back here.
And then you started comedy when you were driving the bus or before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started, I think, driving in 2016.
Okay.
I think the following year, I started that August.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it for a year because I was basically homeless when I had the job. And then immediately got the apartment, got a car. Then the next year, I was like, I can't do this forever.
Yeah.
So I don't know why comedy came back into my mind.
You saw Joe Rogan, you're like, I'm going to fight that fucker one day.
I was like, if he can do it.
I got to start training. The Fear Factor dude tells jokes? Yeah. Oh, anybody can do that.
I got this. No, really what, I'll tell you what is like gave me confidence to do it was in high school, I got voted second funniest person in my high school. But I didn't know there was a competition. Like this was just your peers voting on shit. I got first friendliest person and second funniest person. So I was like, there's something there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know. So maybe if I try, it could be funnier.
Damn, you could have got first if you put some effort into it.
I didn't know. I would have wrote more punchlines.
Yeah.
Nobody told me there was a thing happening. But that kind of gives you, you know how they're like, has somebody told you you're funny? You're like, well, yeah, kind of though.
Yeah.
The school.
Yeah, the entire school.
And people I'm around are always laughing, you know. So it's like, all right, maybe there's something.
Yeah.
Turns out there was something.
Yeah. I had a girl in nursing school. In the same day that I had a teacher tell me maybe I should find something else to do while we were in the hospital, she was like, Evan, do you really even want to do this? I was like, I don't know. The same day, a girl told me, because I was literally just always making people laugh and like jokes.
Yeah.
She was like, you should do comedy. Like I would come to one of your shows. And this was like 4 years before I ever even started. But I always remember that.
Really?
I was like, that was crazy. But yeah.
When did you start?
I started in, let's see, I think 2018 was when I first started. And
you had been thinking about it though? Like really doing it?
Yeah. So like I've always done like creative stuff and like I was doing music and everything. And I never felt like a perfect fit. Like I would make beats, could rap my ass off, dude. I know I don't look like it, but like I could. I don't have the hair for it. Like this haircut doesn't be like, you'll spit a bar.
No, it screams A&R, not rapper.
Like I'm about to rip someone off who's rapping.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's a real fragile contract this guy's got. Don't take that pen.
Like, yo, you got talent.
Don't take that pen. You got talent. Sign your life on it.
You want to be a star, don't you? This is the first step.
I know people. I got stars everywhere. Like lying to people.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting so many royalties for other people's shit. Yeah. That's just the way the business is, you know?
You know what I mean? Hey, 10 years you can get out this contract. Yeah. But right now,
we only need 5 more albums.
Only 5.
And this tour that we loaned you money for.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
But like doing music and everything, I always like being creative. Like I get fulfillment from it. But like it never felt like a perfect fit. And then once I actually like started thinking about stand-up, and then after I did it the first time, it finally was like, oh, okay. Like this feels
good.
Feels like the fit. Even though, so like, unlike you who wrote jokes like in the same day and went up, I practiced this like 5 minutes for probably like 2 weeks.
Really?
Where I was like, I'm gonna like, like I was just like, I've heard about people who aren't prepared for their first time. They just bomb because they blank on their set.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't want to forget my set and then have that panic of not knowing what to do up there.
Yeah.
It's so like the nerves of going on stage to tell jokes for the first time where you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to shake so bad that like nothing comes out and you're just like, and you see it too. Like, have you ever seen someone's first time and you can see the mic shaking and the tremble in the voice? It's like the worst thing. It's so crazy.
I'll say this. because I kind of had a plan, which was to tell these jokes. Like I wasn't really focused on like the audience so much. I was just trying to remember these jokes, and I don't even think I looked at anybody in the audience as I think I was kind of just looking down and like trying to remember them, and then listen for the laugh.
Oh.
So on stage, I was nervous, but I wasn't crazy nervous.
Yeah.
And then in between going to the second mic, I got off the first mic, I got in my car, and I guess I was just like blocking it out, but all the nerves came back. And I had the biggest knot. Like I was doubled over in my car, like from pain.
Really?
Like there was a knot in my stomach, and I was like, just kind of like, what the fuck?
Oh, damn.
Like it all came rushing back. Like it's like I didn't know I was in danger, and then I got off stage, and it was like, you were in danger.
Oh my God.
You were so exposed, you didn't even know how exposed you were. Like on some like primal shit, like all these people could have killed you, you didn't even notice.
Damn.
And then when I got in the car, it was like it all rushed in, and I was like,
oh my God.
well, you know, whereas you would feel that, I guess most people would feel it in the moment.
Yeah. Or right before.
Yeah, I was too focused on trying to, and then I got off, and I was like, yeah, I was fucked up. But yeah, it's nerve wracking. It's however it comes, whenever it comes, like you think about it, you're like, you're very nervous.
Yeah.
You're very on edge.
Yeah.
You know?
The second night, so I went up, I got laughs, but I don't really remember the feeling of being, like I have like snapshots of what was happening and like getting laughs. And I was just like, I was so like, I just didn't want to fuck up that I was like, I didn't enjoy the moment.
Yeah,
like it was just like, this is not fun.
You weren't in control.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost as if you're like a little creature and a lion is just like toying with you, and you're just like, just don't fucking eat me.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
But the host told me, he was like, hey, that was funny. That was your first time. Come back. Which is like so important for the first time for a good host to just be like, hey, that was funny. That was your first time. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like you take that.
When those moments happen throughout the career, you remember people that are like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
You know, you remember, especially if they're somewhere above you and they tell you, hey, you're funny, dog, don't.
Yeah.
You know? You remember all that shit. Or you just remember having okay, I can keep going.
Yeah.
I should keep going. He told me this or she told me this. All right, I should keep going. You feel great.
Yeah, dude. You feel like you're ready. You're just like, I'm ready to start touring right now with this first 6 minutes I've ever wrote in my life.
I got a hot 2.5. No, give me some time. Just begging people, hey, let me get on stage. I got this. Yeah. It was a great moment.
I didn't bomb for the first probably 3 or 4 times I did stand-up.
Really?
I probably bombed, but like I didn't feel the bomb in those first times. It wasn't until I got booked on a show for like, I've only done stand up like 3 or 4 times, got booked on this show that I had to follow these comedians who I found out later were, like 10 to 15 year comics. And they were hilarious black guys that were killing. I remember texting my friend, I had to go after this guy. I don't know who did the order like that.
Yeah.
Probably fucking hated me. They're like, oh yeah, let's see you fucking swim, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? And I was texting my buddy. I was like, dude, there's this dude on stage right now that reminds me of like a young, funny Dave Chappelle. Like he was murdering. I've seen him all over like Comedy Central and stuff like that. Like he's killing it in LA. And I had to follow it with the worst dog shit ever. And I don't know if you did this, but early on, like sometimes I would have these ideas for bits that were longer stories and they just weren't that, like the funny wasn't happening enough. And once I started the bit, and that's the thing in the beginning is you don't have enough material to be like, okay, this isn't working. Let me bell to another joke. You don't have shit. You're like, I just got to eat this right now.
Yeah.
And I remember the comedians that just went on and murdered, sitting at the bar watching. And I kept looking at them. And it was killing me, their face, because they were just like, and then they would look at me and they would like try to give me a chuckle because they knew that I was bombing and I was feeling the bomb.
Yeah.
And It's the only time I ever wanted to shit myself on stage, where I was like, my body was reacting to it.
Yeah.
I was sweating. It was winter. You know, like a lot of shit was happening. And it was the best thing that happened, though.
Yeah.
Because I went home, and it was probably, I got home like at midnight. I didn't sleep till like 4 a.m, and I was just staring at the ceiling. And I was like, that shit can never happen again.
Yeah.
And it was probably like the best thing. And it's happened again. It'll happen at like every stage.
It happens all the time.
But it never happened like that again.
Nah. The first bomb I felt was like probably. So I'll say I really started pursuing comedy in 2017, August 2017. I got booked for like it was like this hood birthday party. I'm talking car show, fish fry. You know what I mean? Blunts in the air. Everybody's chilling, smoking gold teeth.
Hell yeah.
Car, you know what I mean? So it's like this hood birthday party. This might be like 6 months into comedy. And I'll never forget it. It was here in Austin. And then I'm up there trying to tell these jokes to this room full of black people. And none of it was getting through. And then, dead silence. This dude walks in the back of the room and he just starts yelling out booty hole. Just yelling it on his way to do something. Just multitasking. And he's like, he yells it out multiple times. And I'm like, all right. So then I just acquiesce. I'm like, you know what, sir? You all right. This is trash. This is booty hole.
Yeah.
I tried to tell my last few jokes, nothing. And then I got to walk through the fucking audience, immediately leave. It was the worst and best thing because it's never happened like that since.
Yeah.
Like that was the worst possible. I'm not in the moment. I don't got the material.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'm not relating. I'm not. You get all right, I got to start checking shit off.
Yeah.
You know, so you start working. I mean, immediately, I wanted the same crowd back the next day. Like, nah.
Yeah.
I can't. I got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't let y'all leave thinking I'm this. That wasn't even me, I think.
It's like busting with a girl too quick. And you're like, no, let me get a do-over.
Listen, let me
chill
take a
for a
nap.
little bit.
Let me get 15
I ate
minutes.
too soon. You know, it's been a while.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, immediately you want to try again, but that was the best.
Yeah.
It was the best. Because I always remember that. And it's like, anything that happens now is like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I've already proven I can bomb as hard as possible and not die.
Yeah.
I've for sure killed in rooms before. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm somewhere in the middle of that, and it seems like it's more towards the killing side.
Yeah.
So I can be happy with most outcomes.
Yeah. And that's why I also like stand up a lot too, compared to other like art forms, like with doing music. Like when you do music, it's like that's the song, that's the video, that's that finished piece, and that's it. It's done. But it's like, and then same thing with like filmmaking and videos is like, yeah, this is a product. But like with stand up, it's just like almost a compilation of your career, of your set, everything you're doing. So it's like you're gonna bomb. You just want to bomb the least amount possible. So you're like the compilation of all your sets for that year, and that's where you're at. That's like your rating, your average.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's hard to kill all the time.
Yeah.
But if you can just not bomb most of the time, I think that's a career. You can make a career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're just slightly better than bombing a majority of the time, you could be a cover band artist.
Yeah.
And if you figure out how to kill, you can fucking make a lot of money.
Yeah. It's almost like bombing has to be part of the process, because you're not gonna you can get addicted to like writing or doing the same 10 to 15 minutes, kills. But it's like you just keep doing that same shit. You're not gonna evolve that much. So you like I hate when I bitch out of like, okay, I'm going to do this whole new chunk that I haven't done on stage yet, and we're going to see if it works. But then you get to it, and you're like, nah, I'm going to hit him with the classics right now. You know?
Yeah, you got to take those. You got to take those shots though.
Yeah,
because even if it doesn't work, it kind of expands your range. You know what I mean? And if it does work, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, all right. Either way, you get a sense of I can do this, or this is not me.
Yeah.
And then the more you build on oh, I can do this. This is me. This is in line with my personality. I feel like the more solidified your character is, and then the more you can write towards that character.
Yeah.
I was reading a book, and there's like, you know how they talk about you find your voice. You know, that happens. And
What
then,
book is it?
I think it's that Green Book, stand up comedy or something.
Oh, okay.
I think it was that one. It could have been a different one, but basically the idea is like, you know, stage performance kind of mostly comes first for most people. You're up there kind of just moving around. You learn how to write a joke. Then you start to figure out your voice, and then you start to crystallize a character. So you figure out how to talk to people, and then you figure out how people are receiving you, and then you can write towards that character because they're seeing this character on stage. And once you got a good idea of who that character is, you can write towards that. Stay in those lanes, in those pockets, because that's, you know, how the general population sees you. So you can write towards a mass audience.
Yeah.
You know, and write as that character, as yourself, if yourself is mostly in line with that character.
Yeah.
But the finding your voice thing, I think they said sometimes takes like 6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
The character might not develop till like 10, 12.
Yeah.
But once you have it, it's like, that's, okay, now you can be solid in that. And that's kind of that's what I've been working on, is just trying to figure out how people are receiving me, how I can relate to them. Not necessarily building the act, but just trying to be me and go back and forth with the audiences.
Yeah.
And then I figure out, okay, this is how you see me, so I can start writing towards these subjects and these things that, you know, will be received. Because it's like it's like a personal trainer trying to tell you how to get in shape and they're fat as fuck. You're looking at them, you're like, yeah, you're a personal trainer, but I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You're not even taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't align with, like, I'm not going to trust that person. I'm going to trust the dude with the, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying the audience is like the person, like you're the trainer on stage, and the audience is looking at you like you're not being authentic, like this isn't real.
It's not authentic, or it's not in line with whatever character you're portraying.
Yeah.
You ever seen like a black dude that says the N-word, but it gets no laughs, or because it doesn't feel like him?
I've seen a lot of white guys do it too and get no laughs also.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected. But I've seen a couple of black dudes that do it, and you're like, first of all, this is one of the most powerful words in our language. It's like it evokes so much energy.
Yeah,
you can't get anything. You can't even get like a reaction out of people if you use it. And it's like that. I don't think it's in line with their. I don't think they talk like that daily. You know what I'm saying? And you can feel it. It's like when or like another dude is up there just talking about, you know, having sex, and you're like, you don't have sex.
Yeah.
You don't. I don't think you actually.
Yeah.
You know, you can feel there's something off there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody says pussy, and you're like, you don't say pussy like that.
Yeah.
What? I don't think you actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that. There's something about that, and knowing what that is. That helps that helps you on stage. It helps you just kind of crystallize that character.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't want to derail this topic because I love it.
Yeah,
but as a black guy, do you deal with that a lot, of seeing people when they get around you all of a sudden trying to act a lot cooler?
Yeah.
And they just start you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they just start drawing out words, saying shit like lit and bet, you know?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be cool.
Yeah.
You know, and they want to be associated with people that are cool, and they want the cool person to think they're cool. Yeah. You know? But what's cool is just being you. That's the cool thing. Yeah. It's not like trying to assimilate into something that you aren't. But yeah, it definitely happens all the time.
Yeah. It's crazy, especially with stand-up, and it's something I like. The authenticity of certain people on stage is the most like cool thing. Like Cam from Florida, blowing up. He's just like, he's unique. He didn't see other people doing comedy. It was like, let me assimilate to like being a certain kind of style. And then you see people like Casey Rocket and Christina at the Mothership and Genevieve. And it's like, you're seeing these really unique voices. And it's like, Yeah, and that's something where I think I'm on the cusp of starting to figure out, because even like the night I did get on the showcase at Mothership, I went in there, and that's the thing, is like I was fucking trying. I think I saw you before, and you were like, "You signed up?" I was like, "Fucking 13 weeks in a row, let's go, baby!"
Yeah.
And that was the night I got on.
Yeah.
But I'd been that 3 minutes. I'd had that ready since that first week. I was like, this is the 3 minutes I'm going to do and everything. Cause I was like, this gets the most laughs per minute. But then after I did, I did good. And Adam like told me after, like, hey, great set. But that was it. And I kept thinking about it. And I was like, I should have talked to him. I should have like done this and that. I turned into like a mild mannered Asian woman in some of those situations where I just like, I don't want to interrupt. And I'm just like, oh, thank you. And I get out of there. Like, I don't just like, oh, well, so,
Yeah.
But what I realized from those 3 minutes is I was like, I did the material that I know does really well, but it didn't say anything about me. It didn't, It wasn't like me being vulnerable or taking real shit from my life and making it into comedy. Like there was nothing necessarily could separate. Like you could have given those jokes to someone else and they could have probably done them on stage.
Yeah.
And that's like, it was a really good lesson, because it told me like, there's like unique stuff about everyone. And it's like, start getting into that stuff, because that's what's going to be a connection to the crowd, whether that's like your unique vulnerabilities and being authentic, rather than being like, I'm just going to try to make these people laugh with all these tricks.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to just write about things that I think are fun and interesting to me. And so now I got like a 5-minute bit on just fat asses. I'm trying to stretch it to 10, but it's fun for me, so I'm having fun with it. And then you can feel real laughs when I start hitting punchlines and start talking about it. You can start to feel like, oh, this feels, we could there's a foundation here. But I think it started with me just trying to start writing about,
things you love.
Things I love or things I think are fun. Or, not necessarily writing for just the joke purpose.
Yeah.
I think I've always written from a place of like, this thing happened, I got the emotion for it, so I can write about it. But some of it's kind of like, I don't know, just kind of not fun for me to talk about anymore. And I don't want to, if I can do 60 minutes on fat asses, that would be hilarious to me. People might start getting worn down, but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Just to be just talking about something I want to talk about, or talk about, I don't care if it's fucking cherry Pop-Tarts. If I'm, I like cherry Pop-Tarts. I'll figure out how to talk about.
Who's the comedian that has, I think it is, I don't know if it's Pop-Tarts, the joke about him. He's a white guy. He's got glasses. He's like a clean comic, but he talks.
Gaffigan?
Yeah. He's amazing at taking these like silly things like Pop-Tarts and turning them into like amazing bits, like even chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
He can take even just like the beat to death topics like marriage and kids.
Yeah.
And just make those. I have a question for you. Do you think there's hacky premises where if you have a joke about that?
No, we were talking about this the other day. I don't think, so first of all, I don't think the audience gets to dictate hackiness. I think it's the community, the comedians. I think we determine what's hacky. Real comedy fans and people that study comedy and comedians, I think they determine what's hacky. Because to the general public, they just hearing the joke. They don't know it's low-hanging fruit. They laugh.
Yeah.
Whatever, you got them. But to everybody else, it's like, I know 30 people with the same premise and similar punchline.
Yeah.
So then we're the ones that determine hacky. I think relationships, sex, drugs,
Tinder.
Yeah, I mean, anxious moments. These are just human experiences. So we're always going to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Race, especially in this country. Whatever the popular, 9/11 happens, immediately I'm sure everybody had, when a big event happens, we all are ready to write the joke.
Yeah.
Or ready with some spin on it. So I don't think there's hacky premises. I think there's hacky like punches to it.
Yeah.
So we're all going to talk about the thing, trans people, but it's however you spin it.
Yeah.
That makes it not hacky.
Exactly.
The premise, I think, is just there. It's just conscious. It's collective conscience.
Yeah.
Race, religion. We all think about these things. These are the biggest things that influence our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always going to have those premises. Those are usually the setups to everything. You know what I mean? There's general things like that. And then there's things that happen in your life that are unique to you. You talk about that. That's, getting personal with the audience. But I don't think there's hacky premises. There's hacky spins.
Right.
And you just don't want to be the one that everybody's like,
yeah.
Everybody saw that coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I've heard some comedians, like when a topic, like we'll be watching something and they'd be like, ugh, so hacky. I feel like everybody has a joke like that. But I'm like, the topic shouldn't set you off whether it's hacky. It's like, are they grabbing that first reaction that everybody has to that joke? Like, just example, like Trump, and they're like, oh, he's orange, his hair, something. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's hacky. If you just, the first joke that everybody in the audience could think of when you start saying it is like where I determine it. Like, Miles Johnson actually has like the funniest 9/11 joke to me. Have you heard him tell it?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't. He talks about like the people in the second tower. He's like, imagine it's people in the second tower after the first plane hit. And he's like, whew, that was close.
That was close.
And it's just like, it's like a 15-second joke and it's just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. See, that's a different point of view on the same situation that maybe a lot of people didn't think about. Or, Riley's got one about an Italian talking about 9/11. He's like, hey, don't ever forget about it. And then he just keeps going like, oh. And then the plane hits. Oh. It's just very, it's a different, it's not the same. It's like, but some people, 9/11, terrorism.
Yeah.
Taliban, Osama. Yeah. Like, especially that's been kind of beat to death.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's hacky premises. I think it's just people not being unique on the spin of it.
Yeah.
And then I think that becomes hacky.
What is the ultimate goal for you? Like with like your life, like as a whole? Like do you like sometimes comedians get too only in comedy? Like, do you try to be balanced with your life, with trying to do stuff outside of it, or are you just 100% comedy all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
24/7 comedy. That's all I think about.
Yeah.
2 clubs, work at another club, performing.
Yeah.
This is all I think about.
Yeah.
It's paying my bills. It's, affecting my relationships. It's just, it's there. The goal, I feel like I got to set a new goal because when I started, I had 2 goals. One was to go do it internationally and be an international comedian. And so I went to London probably like 3 years. I did 3 weeks in London. So to me, I knocked that off the list.
Yeah,
I was like,
2 years in, goddamn.
Yeah, because when I got into it, I get obsessive. So I started studying everything. Mm-hmm. Went to LA to the Comedy Store for 4 days in a row. Went to New York, checked it out. Went to London, checked out their style. And then, brought all that energy back, studied the game, watched everything, learned how to write jokes, read books, podcasts, whatever. So I got involved. Like, I'm involved. I'm invested. Lived in a van for a year and a half just to make it work.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is to, like, if I'm being honest, it's just to, like, stack a lot of cash and then just live that life of, like, travel. You're just kicking it. I got a bad chick with me.
Yeah.
Maybe we're together. Maybe it's just for the moment. I don't know. But I just want to be free. To, like, this money is working. I can do comedy if I want to. Kind of like where Ron White is. But I want to do it like 20 years before.
Before you
you know what I mean? Before he got it. That way I'm still like 40
Yeah, you're trying to retire early and enjoy your life.
and just kick it.
Yeah.
And let the money work. And then, so it was that, and then just get the respect from the community.
Yeah.
And then that way I have access to most of these rooms. Like if I ever wanted to do a show or get on a show, I would at least have the respect to be like, yeah, come do it. You know, it wouldn't be a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
I guess the next goal is just to get that respect around the world.
Yeah.
That would open up a lot more doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, just try to, you know, hit those $100,000 weekends and, you know, do that for a few years.
Yeah.
5 years, you know, and then just kind of kick it and do comedy if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I always saw this as like a means to an end, which was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, I never wanted to be a comedian. It just fit all the check boxes for a job. I get to say what I want, travel when I want, wear what I want, work when I want.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm more of an entrepreneur mindset person.
Yeah.
Because the performance doesn't really, I'm working on the performance now, but just performing isn't really fulfilling to me.
Really?
No.
So you're not doing it for the fulfillment of being on stage. I
don't have to be on stage.
Yeah?
I could be in the background for sure. If
You're so dope, dude.
I guess, I don't know. It's just not a requirement for me, like that kind of intention, because it's stressful. It's not stressful.
Yeah.
It's like every time you get up, you're like, oh, it's fine. You know, you learn how to adapt, but I could do without that stress.
Would you still, so you like being creative and like joke writing and like kind of the science of it and everything like that? Or you just...
I like expressing, I think I just like expressing my point of view.
Okay.
I think I get the fulfillment of like, this is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of liked arguing too. Like if I feel like a strong point, I think I like trying to argue. And I like the other person to argue back, you know. That's why, for me, I feel like when I throw something at an audience, it's like, all right, what's the pushback here? Yeah. And then if there's all right, now there's a conversation we could talk about. Because as soon as I start talking about fat asses, it's like, listen, you refute the theory if you want. Fat asses are everything. There's a few applauses, a couple people shaking heads. All right, who doesn't like a fat ass? Silence in every room. So you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I just like the give and take of the argument. I don't know. It's something, and I can talk to a lot of people. I used to, when I was young, I used to want to like try to talk to every person in the world to get an idea of what this world really was and like the systems in play and, you know, what's really important to most people. And you just kind of get a better view of the world through other people's point of views. So that used to be something I thought about. But, you know, I can't really do that. But I can get on stage and talk to a lot of people. Have
you thought about doing a podcast? I don't know if you have your own.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Not into this shit. Fuck this shit, dude.
I like being a guest. I don't like. Yeah. I don't really want to set it up.
Yeah. You're like, nah, that's too much work, man.
I mean, I'd rather focus on just doing stand-up.
Yeah. I like doing podcasting because I do like talking to people. And like I get knowledge through other people's point of view. Not just even the idea of the pushback on stage. And that's what I like. Even that changes my stand-up a little bit. Like I absorb a little bit from what you just said because I'm like, yeah, you don't sometimes, like sometimes I look at it as a performance where it's like I'm doing these jokes and then sometimes someone, if they yell something out, can derail it or make it weird. But like you almost, it's almost fun when you have a topic that people know they shouldn't laugh at or they just don't agree with, but you can find a way to make it make sense, but in a funny way. And it's, there definitely is like a way to do it with saying how you really feel about it. And people are like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, if you know the general consensus on a topic, and then you can make like a very connected, funny point that even the person that's like, I hate rape, but that was funny. You know what I mean? There's a guy. This is the funniest joke I think I've heard from like a not famous person, but he gets on stage. He's like a goofy looking white dude. He gets on stage and he goes, "Huh, man, did you guys know that no means no in Spanish also?" Just found out. I mean, it's crazy. It's like it's a rape joke, but it's like,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That's a really clever joke.
Yeah. You know people don't like it, but it's like, but you never thought about it
Yeah.
from that angle.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So if you're not doing stand-up and everything, what would you be doing with your time? Like, do you have hobbies that you enjoy doing? You a big hiker?
No, I like traveling.
Yeah?
Traveling. I mean, let's say I got dumb rich right now, dog, I'd be somewhere right there.
Yeah?
Fucking with chicks, drinking and having a good time, enjoying life.
I took that picture in Yosemite.
Yosemite?
Yeah.
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 I'd be in Yosemite or the Alps or just seeing shit and checking shit out. Walking around, fucking with people.
Is that why you went to Puerto Rico, was to like try to figure some stuff out? And you were like,
Puerto Rico was an adventure. It was like, I was tired of some things that were happening in Austin. I was kind of like burnt out with the situation I was in work-wise. And I was like, dog, I got 10 grand in the bank. Nothing stopping me, no kids, nothing holding me back. You know, my best friend was supposed to come with me. But he backed out. He's more of a ideas person, not an action person.
yeah.
But he planted the idea to go to Puerto Rico in my head. And I was like 100% down. I was like, I bought the ticket. And I asked him, I was like, it was supposed to be like 1 or 2. I was like, y'all got your tickets? And they're like, nah, we ain't going. I was like, fuck it, I'm going without you. So I went out there, moved out there by myself just for the adventure and just to shake it up. And, you know, if you know there's other things out there, you're like, I kind of want to see it. I don't want to read about it. I want to touch it or I want to feel it. And so that's my mentality. Like, I like going. I've been to a few places and there's a few other places I want to go.
Yeah.
And check it out just to see it, you know. I was in Istanbul for like 20 hours, 24 hours. I paid this taxi driver like $50 to just take me to all the sites real quick.
Really?
And he took me to the Hagia Sophia and the Sultanahmet, the two mosques. I think it's called the Blue Mosque and whatever the other one. Anyways, they're in this big courtyard kind of facing each other in Istanbul. And it was at night. There's like street lights on all around. And then the person on the loudspeaker is like, praying and shit.
Yeah.
And there's people like washing their feet, and on the wall there's like water coming out the wall. But that feeling of like seeing it and how powerful that was like, oh, there's a lot of shit I don't know about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like just culture and powerful shit out there, and you know, it's addictive. And it's like, I almost didn't come back. I had come back from Sweden, and I was on my way back here, but I almost didn't get on the flight, and I would have went east to like Asia or something, because I was like, this is a bunch of old shit. I think 432, I think those mosques were built, which is like very crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And I was just in Italy not too long ago, saw some really 2,000-year-old buildings, the Colosseum, the Pantheon.
Yeah.
It's like, shit like that's cool.
Man.
You know?
Yeah.
London, you just walk in, castles pop up. You're like, this is wild. So I like traveling. I like seeing.
Yeah. Does it do you get something out of it for your own life where you're like, it makes you not give a shit about stuff at home, or you're just like.
You get you get perspective, and like I said, moving to Puerto Rico, traveling to Mexico, that opened my eyes to the capitalist nature of America. Seeing everybody else slow down a little bit, and like, oh, not everybody's living for the paycheck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These people are more family oriented. And, you know, my family dynamic's not super tight, so it doesn't really. That's not like a huge factor in my decision making.
Yeah,
because they're all kind of doing their own thing also. But it's just, you know, I like that pace of life where it's not about money. It's more about like enjoyment. To me, time is the most.
Yeah.
important thing. So if you're spending your time somewhere you don't want to be, it's like you ain't getting it back. So now you gotta, money you can make, you can spend it and make it back. You can get it back all the time.
Yeah.
A little work, a couple of investments, you can make money, but you can't make time. And you got to make time. And that's what's crazy is you got to make time for things that you want to do. So, yeah, I get it. I get perspective.
Yeah.
That's what you get from traveling. And then you get to see some cool shit.
Yeah.
Eat some cool food, meet some cool people. Yeah, that's fucking tight.
Yeah. And you realize here in America where people are working towards the illusion of that, where it's like you're going to work your entire life. But then when you retire, then you can travel. But then you're like 65 years old. You're like, what was it all for?
I can barely walk.
Yeah.
I can't get up the stairs, you know what I mean?
You want to get on a scooter and go around somewhere, Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'd rather do it. I mean, that's kind of, I'm not living for retirement for sure.
Yeah.
My lifestyle has not been, set up to retire. So now the plan is to try to get, at some point, big bags of money at one time through comedy. Somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't go to college. I didn't plan for the future. So now I got to figure out how to get the most out of it. Mm-hmm. But comedy is the outlet.
Yeah.
Somehow.
That's awesome.
Somehow.
Andre Ricks, thank you for doing the podcast.
Yeah. Is that it? We done?
Yeah. That was like an hour and a half, I think.
See, I'm a good podcast person, though.
Yeah.
I'm a good guest.
Yeah, you're great, man. Where can people find your stuff? And
shit. It's like Dre Ricks 87 on Instagram.
East Austin Comedy Club, South Austin Comedy Club.
SouthAustinComedyClub.com, EastAustinComedyClub.com. I don't really post a lot of shit. I'm just kind of working on my craft in the darkness right now.
Yeah.
But
like Batman, just preparing.
Yeah, just getting ready for the moment.
Yeah.
Trying to prepare. But
how do you stay so level-headed with comedy and not like trying to always be? Because that's the thing. I overwork and I'm like trying to like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Like, how do you be like, nah, I'm just working at my pace and I'm doing this?
Because that's all you can do, really. It's like, that's all. I mean, there's really no competition. You can think about it in different ways, but there's really no competition to be you.
Yeah,
and that's I feel like is the goal for me. And what should be the goal for most comedians is just to be you and focus on that. And that'll get you the money. That'll get you if you want fame, that'll get you the fame.
Yeah.
But it'll also get you to relate to a lot of people and get that, like a genuine connection with like an audience. So, I don't know, staying level is just like, I can only do my thing. Mm-hmm. And then once I feel like I'm stressing myself out or this is getting to be too much, we walk away.
Yeah.
This is not where it's at. I shouldn't be stressing this much. Why am I stressing? If it starts to feel too much like a job, it's like I'll quit. That's why I quit my last show. That's why I started doing this, because I didn't want to feel like I dictate the terms.
Yeah.
And if I start letting other people do that and like start focusing on their careers and they got this, I didn't get this, they're here, I'm not here, best you can do, be happy for them, try to learn like the dynamics that went to play that you can see that helped them get there. Mm-hmm. If you can absorb some of that energy and some of that knowledge, that's the best. But hating on people and like trying to knock people down, and that's just, you're using your energy for the wrong things. Yeah. Be happy for people doing it and be like, yo, I'm happy for you, dog. That's not my path, but hopefully I can get to where I want to get to being me, just like you got to where you getting to. Yeah. Doing your thing. So this is the best that can happen.
Andre Ricks, you're the man. Thank you for doing this, brother.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, check out all this stuff. If you're in Austin, go see some of the shows at East Austin Comedy Club or South Austin Comedy Club. Or you can catch them on the Mothership. Door Guy shows every Sunday and Monday.
Sunday and Monday. And then usually there's like 1 or 2 spots during the week.
Yeah. I just hit that outro like a weatherman. Like I was a professional local weatherman, dude.
I was like, shit got real somber at this moment.
I just checked out and something took over. All right, thank you.